It's an exciting time in the pork industry. We have never been here before as it relates to the demand for our product. As a result of that, we've been able to improve our overall efficiency, improve our health of our animals, improve the production practice as it relates to environment, and most importantly, deliver a very safe, wholesome product to our customers.
The good news is that U.S. consumers can be confident in the fact that U.S. producers are committed to producing a high-quality product, a safe product, and producing pork in a responsible way.
Caring for the animals is his utmost concern, but ultimately by moving that animal indoors, it has allowed us to care for them in a way that's not possible outside. We protect them from predators, we protect them from the environment, we provide them food and water on a 24/7 basis.
Right from the moment that pig arrives on our farm to the time we put it on the truck to leave our farm, it's our responsibility that that animal is well taken care of. I'll never forget back in the early 2000s when I built my first 2,400 head confinement barn, and my dad was in his mid-80s and I took him in there, and he's the one that made that comment to me. I'll never forget it. He said, "These pigs are happy pigs." But he said, "This is a big responsibility. It's part of the reason I do what I do."
Today's pig farms represent a pretty high level of investment in technology. It's a big investment, but it's a good investment.
Designing a facility that's best for the animal, for them to grow and for them to be productive is absolutely in the best interest of a farmer. You got to figure out what do we need to do from a building design standpoint to have that animal be comfortable and therefore be productive.
So a lot of the technology that's in barns today, there are control systems that run the heat, the cooling, all of that simultaneously, much like it does in our homes. The aspect of filtering the air is the latest technology that we have carried forward in the topic that we call biosecurity.
We have both negative and positive pressure filtration. A positive pressure filtration would provide air to those animals that would be similar to a surgery suite in a hospital. And we can prevent diseases from entering those facilities and maintain those animals at a very, very high health status.
It's just ultimately the best thing that we can provide for them is that clean, healthy environment to try and keep them in optimum performance.
Antibiotic use is now focused only at preventing, controlling, and treating disease. Veterinarians need to oversee that use, and so they and their farmers work together to look at the risks their animals are under, take steps to prevent the need to use antibiotics, and then use antibiotics when they're necessary. Testing at our packing plants demonstrates that farmers are following the withdrawal times, and that gives consumers the confidence that our meat is safe.
In almost every state in the United States, farms are required to have permits to operate, and a part of that is a nutrient management plan that really looks at the amount of nutrients that are in the manure that's produced on the farm and balances that with the needs of the crops that are grown in the field. You know, manure displaces the uses of commercial fertilizer in many cases. Beyond that, improvements in our industry have led to significant reductions, for instance, in greenhouse gas emissions, and that's going to certainly have a positive impact on air and water and land footprint, as well as greenhouse gases.
Today, approximately 60,000 pork producers exist in the U.S. Over 500,000 jobs are created as a result of the current U.S. pork industry.
At the end of the day, when you live in a rural agricultural community, it's hard not to see how many ways that this industry touches folks that live in that community.
A significant number of jobs have been created because of exports in terms of more corn and more soybeans consumed and more services, trucking, transportation, banking, insurance, construction.
From a tax-based standpoint, clearly the animal industry is a huge net positive. From a job standpoint, it's a huge net positive.
Our producers today are committed to doing the right thing. spending the dollars, hiring the people, doing those baseline things, whether that be issues around environment, community, animal health, food safety. I'm very encouraged by what I see happening in the U.S. pork industry.